D1 football team coming to our place. Very excited about it. We know what this team's about. Very, very well coached, good players really at every level of the team. So we know what type of challenge we're in for. And we're excited about that, AFC football. Looking forward to having our fans down there. Looking forward to the juice that brings our football team. Sounds like it's going to be a beautiful day down there. Not supposed to rain until it does. I think it's going to be windy. So it's going to be a great day down there on the lake. But with that, I'll take any questions.
Kevin, do you have any update on the plan for Nick?
I don't have an update, no. I mean, obviously surgeries, we're working through that, when and where and all those type of things. I don't have an update yet.
How about Greg being ruled out for this game? What impact does that have on you guys?
Yeah, obviously guys have to step up, and Greg plays a big role for us inside and outside, so we've worked through that all week, Mary Kay, so I feel comfortable with the plan.
Okay. With Greg, do you think it's going to be a long time?
I don't. Yeah, rule him out for this one, then we'll see for next week.
And then what have you seen out of Cam Mitchell that if he has to fill in?
What a shock he's asking this question.
Yeah.
Northwestern Wildcats stick together. Yeah, he's done a nice job. Very smart kid, tough. Has done a nice job on special teams. Every time we put him there on defense, has done a admirable job and knows what to do. Is physical. So he's a candidate to be in there at times. We have a bunch of different guys that can play in there.
Kevin, with Jerome Ford, obviously he's sort of had to wait for this opportunity. What have you kind of seen from him as he's been patient, kind of waiting for a chance to get this?
Diligent worker. I go back to the spring, and I think I've told you guys I was very, very impressed with how he handled the spring, mentally, physically. Really jumped into that role as a protector and understanding all the things that go with protection. Catches the ball well, so had a good spring, and I think he's always prepared himself for these roles. I think all of your players constantly have to stay ready because they never know when their number is going to be called and in what role. Sometimes roles change and adjust and grow throughout the season. I think Jerome's an example of a guy who's always been ready.
Is there a specific plan for Kareem, or is it just kind of based on how quickly he picks back up things, and if you have a snap count or anything like that?
Yeah, well, I think Kareem's going to play. He's ready to play. He's in good shape. I think how much and doing what will determine that over the next 48 hours. But I think he's comfortable with everything that we have up.
Obviously, Za'Darius wasn't on the game status report, so it sounds like he's really progressed well with that ankle.
Yeah, he's good to go.
Kevin, I guess how do you think the run defense has done for you guys so far? The pass rush has gotten so much attention, but especially compared to the struggles that you guys had last year. Yeah, the run defense has been very sound. As you know, it's not complicated. It's really a penetrating front and getting 11 hats on the football, and it could be never more important than this week when you're facing this rush attack. Two really good running backs. They're committed to the run, so you have to be committed to stopping the run. It's a huge challenge and one that we've worked really hard on this week.
Kevin, the first two opponents are division opponents, so there's a lot of familiarity both ways. Did you notice them approaching Miles any differently in terms of blocking this year compared to previous?
Not really. Yeah, as you know, he's going to get a ton of attention. So he's going to get tight end chip help. He's going to get running backs looking for him. The ball is going to come out quick. All those things are still true. I don't see that changing.
And Kevin, when not having Nick obviously affects a bunch of stuff. Like when you're putting the game plan together, could you feel kind of his absence when you're doing that?
Yeah. Of course, with Nick, as we've talked about, huge part of our team, or our organization, we have good players on this team, and I think the guys are excited about the opportunity that it presents. You don't replace Nick Chubb with one person, so that's not the case. But we're very aware of who our guys are, who needs to touch the ball, those type of things. But we understand it's not a one-man show.
You're trying to move past it, but is there one area where you think his absence might be felt more than
I don't
another?
think so. Yeah, again, you want to have enough in your system offensively or defensively when you lose a player that you're ready to pivot, and I think we do.
Defensive front is the engine of the defense, you guys say, and it starts there and trickles down. But how do you see the guys in the secondary behind it? How do you see them respond to that when the coverage does fall to them? How do you see them respond?
Yeah, I think it's been impressive to date. Cam, just the first 2 weeks, and it takes all 11 guys, like we say. So I think I've seen the secondary take the bit and play sound football, play with great technique. But so much of defensive football is playing with reckless abandon and running to the football and playing physical and playing with each other. And I think you see examples of that. Now we have to continue to do it, but it's been a good start.
If Hudson can't go, would you expect one of those practice squad, Leatherwood, and Neshke to come up?
I would if that's the case, yes.
Leatherwood been working at tackle. I know he's
Been doing both.
Mm-hmm.
Kareem being a little bit lighter, does his role change at all from what he may have done for you last year?
Not because of the weight. I mean, he's in good shape. Obviously hasn't played a game in a little while, but he's in good shape mentally, physically.
Bubba said that you had a message for the staff and the team on Wednesday about kind of the collective mentality after Nick's injury. What were you trying to get across?
Yeah, I mean, I won't get into specifics, but, you know, and we've talked about it all week. Nick's an important person for this team, this organization, our offense, you name it. But it's also, this is the greatest team sport there is. It's the best. And our guys understand the challenge when you lose a player. And I know it's coach speak, but it truly has to be next man up. And in our case, next men up. You don't do it with one person. So you get to play 11 on 11 every single game, and we're excited about the guys we have.
What makes Simmons and the rest of that front for them so good?
They have multiple good players. Interior, on the edges, very, very physical. Simmons is coming off the ball. He strikes. So you have to match their physicality. But it's a very impressive front. There's a reason they've been so good against the run. They're just a big, physical, powerful team that uses a lot of movement. So they don't just come off the ball in two gap. They're moving their guys. So it's a really good front.
How's D-Hop looking for them?
Good. Yeah, you know, working him in. Obviously, his ball skills are extraordinary. So we know what type of skill set he has. He's dangerous with the ball in his hand. One-on-one matchups, always looking to call his number.
Going from a game where you guys struggled against the Steelers and now you're playing another really good defense in the Titans, is it kind of good for you guys to kind of test out, like, you know, where you want to get, where you want to be?
I don't know. I think every week feels like a challenge. There's, as you guys know, there's 32 great teams. This is not college football where you're going to be able to schedule somebody. It's a battle. It's not a marathon. It's 17 sprints, and that's the way we look at it. And every week it's coming at you. Every week it's a different challenge. No different than this week, like you mentioned. It's a really well-coached team. It's a different challenge because of schemes on offense, defense, and special teams. That's why it's so important for our team, our players, our coaches. You have to pour everything you have into every single game, and it just becomes that 17th sprint.